Welcome to the June 2025 energy reading. My name is Melanie Santos. I am a multidisciplinary sacred artist who is here to talk to you about the energy of the month because I feel that when we know what's going on, we can best use the energy of the month and exist with intention so that we can further our efforts on the road to personal liberation and collective liberation and well-being. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. Please check out my website and all the things. I hope you come back. But if this is not your first time here, welcome back. I'm so happy for you to be here. Let's start off by talking about the energy of the month, specifically the new moon, the full moon, the zodiac seasons, because I think it's really important to be conscious of how the energy is flowing, again, so that we know how to best exist and what opportunities are out there for us. Now we are in Gemini season. It's my season. My birthday's in a few days as I'm recording this. But we have a few weeks left of Gemini season, which is a Mercury ruled sign of communication, of curiosity, of nuance. Gemini rules the third astrological house of the mind, thinking, communication, siblings, social activities. So as we move through these final weeks, ask yourself, what have I been learning and unlearning or rethinking in terms of how I communicate with the world and how I communicate with myself? What stories exist within me? What stories do I feel belong to me? What stories are expired? What stories do I need to let go of? Check in with your nervous system. How does it feel against the pace of life these days? And what ideas and thoughts and communications and expressions have been in your mind that are asking you to nurture them right now? On June 11th, we have a full moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is represented by the half man, half horse archer, and it represents the ninth astrological house of truth-seeking, travel, philosophy. There's been a lot of talk about Jupiter, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, but Sag is a fire sign ruled by Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion. Sag reminds us that growth is not always comfortable, but it is necessary, and that our thoughts and beliefs have to stretch with us and evolve with us as we do. Like I just mentioned, this full moon is coming to have us ask the questions of what stories are playing out within me and what do I need to release and let go of in search of more freedom. Sagittarius is opposite of Gemini on the chart. And so at their axis, this axis of Sagittarius and Gemini asks us to find balance between curiosity and conviction, between logic and faith, facts and meaning. Gemini energy invites us to gather information. And again, it's the mind, it's communication. And then Sagittarius helps us to embody it. So when we align with Sagittarius energy, we remember that freedom and liberation and all this information that we're gathering through our experiences, hopefully we are tuned in and we're paying attention to how everything in our lives is serving to act as clues on our journey to liberation. But Sag energy comes to remind us that freedom is a mindset and that sometimes we can keep on that Gemini wheel of nonstop seeking information, but really the liberation that we're waiting for is within. We just kind of got to gallop forward. I immediately got the download to let y'all know that if any of y'all are looking to take another course or get another reading or do something else to gather more information, Spirit is no, you need to work with what you already have, what you know. Stop doubting yourself, honking, sirens, letting us know to keep moving forward. Use the information that you have, use the strength, the power that you have. Remember who you are and gallop forward, move forward. On June 20th, we shift into Cancer season and we welcome the summer solstice. The summer solstice is the longest day of the year because the sun is shining much brighter and it is shining for much longer. So we get more of the energy of the sun, and the sun is our main source of energy, the main source of light and of prana, of life force energy. So my favorite way to think of the summer solstice is that it comes to help us remind us that we are also light and that our light expands when we not only nurture and care for ourselves in mind, body, and spirit, but when we dare to express ourselves fully. Then Cancer season, which is also my season. I go from Gemini season, which is my sun sign, to Cancer season, which is my moon, rising, Venus, Mars, Chiron, all the things. I got hella Cancer in my chart. I'm proud of it too. But Cancer is the water sign of depth and intuition and sensitivity and mothering and nurturing. A lot of people give Cancer energy and Cancers a bad rap, saying that we're too sensitive and we're crybabies. But Cancer seasons and Cancers in general, I think, are the toughest sign. What's tougher than a mother? that's protecting their young. So Cancer season to me really comes to remind us that like boundaries are protection, that nourishment is power, that rest is truly radical. Cancer rules the 4th astrological house of home, family, self-care, security, emotions, foundations, mother, children, our femininity. Regardless of gender expression, we all have feminine and masculine energy. Femininity, that energy of flow, the energy of receiving. So Cancer season draws us inward, into the body, into the memory, into our emotions, into our emotional body. I like to tell the story of the zodiacs like this because it helps me flow with the cosmos. If you haven't checked out my class, what are you doing? It's such a great class. It's really cheap and it teaches you how to literally flow with the cosmos, giving so much information. And I think it's 123 minutes. But what I like to say is that Aries season sparks the flame, Taurus grounds it, Gemini gives it language, and then Cancer asks us to protect it. Protect it by coming home to ourselves, by letting care lead. Then on June 25th, the Sun, the new moon, and Jupiter meet in Cancer. This is a moment, y'all. Like what I just shared about the full moon in Sagittarius is important because full moons come to help us release. I plug this in every single monthly reading, but if you have not checked out my free masterclass on the sun, the moon, its rituals, eclipses, solstices, equinoxes, all the things, it's a must watch. It's going to be at the end of this video in the credits, but I'm also going to link it in the description box for you to click. So yeah, full moons are ripe for releasing. And so in terms of all the things that have to do with Sagittarius, especially around what stories are you continuously telling yourself, right? What belongs, what doesn't belong, what's stopping you on your path to liberation, on your path to the freedom that you really want to embody, releasing that, even and especially if they come from you. And then the new moon gives us an opportunity to work with this Cancer energy of nurturing, right? Represented by the crab. The crab is like soft and delicious and sweet, but will clamp you, right? To protect itself and will retreat into its shell to keep itself safe, or at least where it feels safe. And so in this new moon, you are prompted to pay attention to and ask yourself, what is it that makes me feel safe, especially on this quest to be fully embodied and fully express my authenticity in the world? What are you craving to come home to within yourself, within your home, within your spaces, your relationships, your projects, maybe your ancestral lineage, your spiritual practices, your routines? How can they feel more like home to you? Cancer energy especially, I think, teaches us that tending to our emotional body, our emotional wounds, is not for the weak. Like, it's what makes us stronger. And it's like, it always reminds me of like this, I don't know why this is coming up, but like the scene in 8 Mile with Eminem where like, he's already put it out all on the table. And then this guy comes to diss him, talking about his life and like, you live in a trailer park and da-da-da-da-da. And Eminem is like, yeah, I do actually, and this, and that, and that. And it's like him bearing all his wounds to the world, fully expressing himself and fully embodying who he really is against all odds. And it's just like, no weapons formed against him can prosper because he's already embodied in terms of like what is going on in his life. All his wounds are out on the table. And so what? I know this is not easy for everybody. It can be very easy for Cancer risings like myself to be very vulnerable and wear their heart on their sleeves. I definitely know that to be true. But I want you to remember from a Cancer to you that getting to that place where you're able to be vulnerable just with yourself. I'm not telling you to stand on a megaphone and share your deepest, darkest secrets with the world, but bringing yourself to that moment where you're able to be vulnerable with yourself, where you're able to really touch on your emotional body, really be with your wounds, is protection too. That being soft isn't just being soft, that is strategy. That your sensitivity is on purpose, that it is important, that it's a compass meant to help you navigate the world. It's a very delicate time for you to listen to, again, your wounds, but also your ego. Your ego serves a purpose. We're meant to befriend it so that we understand what is it that makes you feel unsafe. And let's get to the root of that so we can make peace with those moments that created these wounds in the first place. I'd say this is an exceptional time to do any activities involving your inner child, to do inner child healing, inner child shadow work, to commune with your inner child, to gift yourself experiences where your inner child child could feel free. And then we have Jupiter, right? Because it's the sun, the moon, and Jupiter forming this cazimi, which is just like when a planet comes together with the sun. It's a really, really beautiful moment. Again, Jupiter is a planet of expansion. And so our new moon intentions will be tenfold more powerful right now. And so again, this is a really important time to set any type of intentions you feel like you want to set for yourself and for the world as well. Never forget the world, never forget collective liberation and well-being in your intentions. But don't forget to root your intentions in what the moon energy is. Again, nourishment, remothering, vulnerability, tenderness, being your most authentic self, especially like weaving the wisdom with the wounds and just being fully you. Intentions grounded in boundaries and protection and safety. Intentions grounded in legacy, right? That the steps that we're taking now to feel safer so that we can be fully embodied and expansive in the world is creating our legacy, right? This is like how we will hopefully be remembered, not just for what we're doing, but how we are, which I think is even more important. As I always say, please take into account the other cosmic movements that are happening that are also adding other energies and other opportunities, especially when it comes to your specific chart, if you have that information. Now, before we move forward into the oracle card reading, I always also commune with my spirit guides and ask if there's any information from the spirit world, from the ethers, that they want to relate to me to relate to you. And they very clearly said that this summer is a time to keep laughing, keep smiling, keep praying, keep paying attention. Summer can be a time where we check out, right? When we start to numb ourselves with things that are fun instead of fueling ourselves with joy. But it is really important to remember that joy is truly resistance, that joy is truly medicine, that it's medicinal. The world is going to continue to turn, and the powers that be, unfortunately, are going to keep fueling war and weaponized hunger and genocide and injustice. They're going to continue to turn the gears on these systems that are made to distract us, exhaust us, to make us forget our power. And so we have to remember. We have to really engage in activities and opportunities that fuel us in the best ways, that give us joy, that fill our lives with beauty. We have to create joy. We have to create beauty. We have to keep community together more than ever before. Now more than ever, we have to stay rooted in what matters, stay rooted in love, stay rooted in clarity, and to remember that to be a witness to global pain, to be an ally, we do not have to match global pain. In fact, it is our joy, it is our tenderness, it is the fact that we are nuanced and expansive beings that are able to hold absolute terror with joy, with love, creates our humanity and sustains our humanity. Remember that joy is not a break from the work, it is the work. With that, let's pull some cards to see what the energy of June 2025 is offering us or trying to pull us forward into right now. Let's start with the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. I'm recording this pretty late in the day. The sun is going to do its thing, baby, but we're going to push forward, okay? Let's see what our first message is for June 2025. Okay, we got a card upside down, which always always means emphasis. And we got the goddess Sedna, infinite supply. You are supplied for today and all of your tomorrows. Lots of sirens right now. I love how this kind of matches my nails. Do we like my birthday nails? Okay, I love them. So many sirens. Bear with me. I had to put my hand down because the sirens kept going. But the goddess Sedna, you are supplied for today and all of your tomorrows. This is a card of not worrying. This is a card of not worrying. Just know that when you worry, you're plugged into the collective consciousness. So there are probably so many worries floating around. It's also just in your aura. So it's a reminder of like energetic hygiene and protection. But it's a card of not worrying. It's a message of not worrying, that you will always be provided for as long as you are giving with your hearts, like giving from a heart space and not giving to receive, but also being open to receiving. I hope that makes sense. Especially in this season of Gemini, where like it's duality, it's the twins. It's like, yes, I'm giving, but I'm also open to receiving. And so I love that we just segued into this from this reminder about joy and about love and about peace and cultivating more of it as medicine and as resistance, because the more that we do that, the more that we create more of it in the world, the more that we create this energy of joy and peace in our own lives. What's coming up also is like lots of questions about like, what do I do? I just hear like, what do I do next? Like, you want me to be this thing, but like, what do I do? Please remember that God and the universe are not these external, it's not this external being, it's you. And so instead of asking, what does God want from me? What do you want from you? What do you want from you? Right? And how do you take a look at your life and your beliefs and your thoughts and your mindsets, like we were mentioning earlier, and like, how can you recognize or position yourself to recognize and examine how you already have everything that you need to take the steps that you need to take? Super important this month, like super important. Know that you've already been supplied, that everything that you're wiring is also a reminder to like shift your perspective about yourself. Shift your perspective about yourself. The way that you came to this world is intentional, and intentional because you were meant to show up in this world in this way. It's important to your journey, and it's important to the way that you need to express yourself in the world. I'm getting throat chakra energy. Throat, when I think of throat chakra, it's like authenticity, it's expression, not just verbal but energetic. And like, again, we're getting this like reminder of embodiment, but like telling your story. And I'm not just saying like get on Instagram and tell your story. That's not for everybody. That's not everybody's path. But like, I'm feeling like if you get the download, or like you feel the call to like share something with somebody, share it. We're still in Gemini energy again, right? And then we're shifting into Cancer season. Cancer season is this energy of nurturance, right? You can nurture the world and nurture other people and nurture yourself by sharing your story. This is very much Gemini energy. This is very much Cancer energy. I mean, look at the water. This is ocean water. Are these whales? They're whales. Look at the nurturance and the love in her expression. The goddess Sedna, who comes to remind us of infinite supply. Infinite supply. We will always be supplied for. We will always be supplied for. Never think that you don't have what you need. You have exactly what you need. This is also a reminder that I think I came up earlier when I was talking about the full moon in Sag, but like, we don't need to acquire anything else. We just need to work with what we have and move forward. We don't have time. This card feels kind of urgent also, like in that sense that like we don't have time to keep acquiring stuff. Like, there's also this like strand. I'm seeing like an explosion of downloads right now. Sorry. There's also this strand of like reminder of like, get out of capitalistic thinking when it comes to projects and expression. Like, again, we don't need more. We don't need to spend more money on acquiring. Maybe if you want to spend money on something that helps you embody what you already have, absolutely. Help you work with somebody on helping you embody the energy of whatever, the sun, the moon. I do a lot of this work, definitely, but like your gifts, your talents, your really expressing yourself as a spirit embodied. Like, if you want to spend money, if you feel the urge to like, yeah, I want to invest in myself in this way, absolutely. But you don't need to acquire more tools. I'm getting the reminder of like, or the message that like, the more you acquire, the more you confuse yourself with the gifts and talents and tools and resources you've already been offered. Like, you're here with what you have for a reason. Work with that. Great, amazing message to start with. Let's move on to the Work Your Light Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell and see what this second message is for June 2025. Okay, we had a card flip over in the deck. It's the protection card. Listen, these cards are coming through like Gemini and Cancer energy. We spoke about Cancer being this energy of nurturance and of love, but like also boundaries, being protection. The crab claws coming to be like, get away from me. And not in a mean way, right? In a loving and in a protective way. The mama cub being like, stay back, right? This is coming through as a way to be with your inner child, not just protecting yourself against other people and maybe the stories that you tell yourself that you see out in the world, but also protecting yourself against the stories themselves, like the stories that are playing out. The sun is doing its thing. We're just going to keep going. But the stories that are playing out that keep trying to keep you, that keep harnessing you and keeping you away from where you need to be, the way that you need to express yourself, those stories that don't need to exist anymore, that have expired, their 10 years done, like it's done. We need to release them. Protection from that. And you're trudging forward and you're galloping forward in this very Sagittarian full moon energy. This is definitely coming through as a full moon card. Is the way that you protect yourself from these stories continuing to be embedded and installed within you. There's also the reminder coming through of like rejection being protection. You're going to hear no this month, or you might hear no. I don't like to be mega prescriptive in these readings, but like you might hear no. No is rejection as protection, okay? You're not meant to be there. You're still on alignment. We're just putting you back on the path over here, not over there. This reading is moving fast, but I think the messages are coming through pretty clearly. So we're going to keep moving forward because I want to analyze this full story at the end. Next deck is the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. And let's see what message this deck has for us for June 2025. Clear as day. This came out of the deck. Card number 8, indecision. 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 This is coming through as like a card that comes with this one. As like, again, protection from your own stories. And also this one, like you already have an infinite supply. So you don't need to keep acquiring more information to like make the decision that you already know you need to make. Like there's 2 unknowns. Just make the decision. Again, this feels like kind of urgency, which is kind of, I guess, why this reading is moving so fast. But being able to protect yourself against like acquiring more and protect yourself against like, oh, I don't know. That's not indecision, baby. That's you. It's like weaponized confusion. I don't know, to just stay in your comfort zone. This is not a time of comfort zones. Just because Cancer season and like Gemini season is a season of expression and Cancer season is a season of nurturance and safety does not mean safety in your comfort zones. It is, again, making yourself feel safe and strengthening your aura and your mind and your body and your spirit so that you can exist in situations that are unsafe, like the world, so that you can express yourself vulnerably, already having done that work with yourself, so that, again, you could be Eminem on stage, so that nothing formed against you can break you down. And so also that you can stop having that mindset of like everything is against you. Sometimes nothing is against you. Sometimes you're against yourself. You're against feeling safe and feeling whole in a situation that maybe in the past you didn't, or you wouldn't have. Just because it's new doesn't mean it's unsafe. And so no flip-floppy energy this month. Like being able to protect yourself against mindsets that maybe you used to have that do not serve you anymore. We're not here. We have an infinite supply, baby. We're not there anymore. We're not there anymore. There's no time for indecision. We've been given enough signs, knowledge, wisdom. We have it. We have it. We kind of just have to embody it. We have to embody it moving forward, because then we go into Leo season, and that's really a season of like expression and the self. We're coming into a season of Leo season of the self. 8-8 Lionsgate. Radiance. How can we step into radiance if we don't first? We aren't comfortable with our wounds. We aren't braiding the wounds with the wisdom and the wonder. It's a beautiful journey, truly, if you choose to see it as beautiful. If you see it as daunting, this is why so many people hate like Gemini seasons, Cancer seasons, Geminis and Cancers. I don't understand. It's crazy, but it's mostly, I think, because people are not willing to see themselves in these energies. And it's like, it's inevitable. Either you do it or it's done for you. Either you get yourself there or you're put there in a really uncomfortable way. And so I'm loving this. I'm going to pick our last card, y'all, from the Infinite Wisdom of the Chakras deck. This is one of my newer decks by Alison De Nicola. And I'm curious what this last card for June 2025 will come to be. Okie dokie. I feel like we got this pose. This deck is really connected to yoga poses, but I feel like we got this pose. So we're getting yellow, which is the solar plexus, but we're also getting heart energy. It's the camel pose. Okay, we are opening our heart. If you can't tell when you do this pose, this is a heart opener. But the yellow is solar plexus energy, which is the navel. And so when we look at the navel, and when we look at the flower right at her navel, right at her belly button, when we're talking about the navel, the solar plexus chakra, we are talking about self-confidence and will. We're talking about, I like to look at, in particular, in my alignment sessions, and I do have availability I have some availability for June and definitely for July, but I'm looking at the inner child as well, because so much of that, our self-confidence, our self-esteem is impacted in our childhood. And so I love that this is coming through. Now my camera turning off because it overheated. The sun is really not playing. It's like 80 something degrees here in New York today. Anyway, when I'm looking at the solar plexus chakra in an alignment session, and I do have alignment sessions available for June and for July, in case you wanted to see me one-on-one for a beautiful, beautiful reading. I'm really proud that I'm able to do this work. But when I'm looking at the solar plexus, I am looking at our self-confidence, our will, our self-esteem, and I'm also looking at the inner child, because so much of that is impacted in our childhood. So many of those wounds that keep us from our full liberation and our full expression exist in our childhood and in our upbringing. And so I love that this is the pose that's coming through, and the reminder that, like, if you open the doorway to your heart, you will discover a treasure within. We got the card, we started off the reading with, like, we have an infinite supply. The infinite supply is literally within us. It's within our heart. It's within our solar plexus. It's also within our wounds. Our wounds hold power. There are messages in our mess. I know that sounds really corny and like really cliche and maybe hallmarky, whatever, but like it is so true. Please don't become apathetic. Please don't become so negative against yourself. Don't speak about yourself with ill will, and don't speak about yourself like you're weak or like I've been through so much. That's fine. I've also been through a lot, but you can't talk about yourself in that way, because you're literally taking away your own power. And so literally open the doorway to your heart and discover the treasure within. There are treasures in your mess. There are messages in your mess. There is guidance there. There's wisdom in your wounds. There's wonder there. Be curious. Use the energy of Gemini season, or what's left of Gemini season, to be curious, to communicate. Use and embody the energy of this full moon and this new moon to ask yourself and take a look at the stories that are generally playing out, that are constantly playing out within you. What is helping to keep you in alignment on this path to liberation and well-being, keeping you rooted in joy and love and authenticity and true expression, and what is keeping you from it? And create a cozy, safe, very Cancer-like moment for you to have a conversation with those parts of you. I love that this is also a movement, a literal pose that we can do this month to open up the heart. This is a really great pose. Again, we're just bending backwards, trying to hold on to the ankles if we have the capacity to do so, if not just bending back and trying our best to reach our legs. But what's most important is just opening up the shoulders, opening up the heart cavity to express that heart energy, You'd be surprised if you do this and you take really beautiful, deep, intentional breaths as you're in this pose, how much energy you will move. There's a reminder of lots of noise. There's a reminder of movement as cleansing and as protection as well. Again, we have an infinite supply. Where are these cards? Movement as a form of energetic cleansing, right? Because we literally have an infinite supply of whatever it is that we need. Want to shake off some energy? Use your body. Want an energetic cleansing and refocusing, protection, recalibration? Use your body. You don't need to buy anything else. You got it, baby. Don't be confused. Don't be confused about who you are. Use what you got. Don't tell yourself the story of like, I don't know. No, because you got it. You are it. You are it. Okay, whatever it is that you're searching for, you got it. You are that already. Okay, protect yourself against this whack ass indecision. No, no. And also, word to one of the videos that I put out on this journey that I've been on. I've been releasing 36 videos on 36 lessons that I've learned in 36 days. I'm almost done as my birthday is nearing. But one of the videos that I filmed was about the fact that we can never make a wrong decision. Even if we are indecisive, we can never make a wrong decision because we're always going to end up exactly where we need to be to learn the lessons. We're always going to end up exactly where we need to be, exactly where we need to exist, to embody the lesson. We're always in alignment. We're always in alignment. I always say I kind of trick people with the name of my sessions. They're called alignment sessions because we're looking at what is in your path. What is an opportunity for you to advance, to evolve, to be with yourself, with your shadows, with your light, to embody both. I love this reading so much. It is so matching of like Gemini and Cancer season energy. I want to know how it hit you. How is this showing up in your life currently? Come back to this at the end of the month and let me know how this showed up for you this month. I'm going to try my best to let you know briefly how this is showing up for me, because it definitely is, and May definitely spoke loud and clear to me. So if you're curious about what the messages were for May, go back and watch the May energy reading and let me know, like, oh yeah, this, turned out this way for me. This is how this message sort of resonated for me in this way, or maybe the opposite way. So much noise outside. We're nearing summer in New York City, so there's about to be a lot of noise. I don't want to take it all as a spirit confirmation, but whatever. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being patient as my camera shut off. I hope that you come back next month for the July energy reading. It is so insane that we're about to be in July. Just crazy to me. But thank you for giving me the time. Please be patient with yourself this month. Take the steps necessary to move forward on, again, this journey to personal and collective well-being. Set really powerful intentions and don't forget the world. Peace.